Good afternoon, everybody. We've got sunshine and blue skies, which is something we haven't had very much of over the last few months. Absolutely glorious morning. Quite a bit of snow last night, but that disappeared fairly fast this morning and turned out to be a beautiful day. Myself and Ben have spent most of the morning going around and swapping cows around, and we've moved some cows and calves in, the oldest one's in creeping now. And we also had 4 newborns yesterday, Sunday. This girl here was actually the first one that calved. She calved yesterday morning around 8 o'clock. She's blue shorthorn, and she's a calf out of the Charolais bull, a beautiful bull calf, lovely big bull calf. She's great milk, this cow, a little bit nervous. She's able to try and jump over this wall. She was trying it earlier on, the timber wall here, so I don't want to annoy her too much. She's always been very nervous, but yeah, no, everything okay. She was a little bit, the calf was a little bit slow because he was big to get going on his feet and to get drinking, so I had to trap her head, took him down here and trapped her head in the calving gate, and got him. Once he got drinking, there was no problems. This is the premature calf. It's born a couple of weeks now. We have a calf over here trying to come into this bed and pen. Yeah, born a couple of weeks now. Still very poor on its back legs, but it should come eventually. This is one of the calves here now that's in creeping. We're using this top pen for the calves creeping, and he knows he wants to get back into the straw where he was. He's just not sure which side to go. The cow has her head stuck in the creeping gate at the minute, and he thinks he should be coming maybe into this pen, but we'll get him straightened out. We'll go over and just have a little look into that pen. Yeah, these are just due now for feeding. All the pens are all bedded with fresh straw. Yes, these are the ones in creeping. See if you can see any of the calves. There was a couple of calves in drinking there a few minutes ago, but we can't just see them. They're up the top side. Oh, here's one here. Yeah, there's one here drinking away. I put them all in earlier on. I put them all in on the straw, so they've made their way back. They were all lying down earlier, and they've all made their way back out now. 3 of them have made their way back out for drinking, and yeah, you just need to keep an eye on them now for the first few days, just to get the swing of coming in and out to the back. What happens is they're liable to, when they feed now and bellies are full, they're liable to lie down maybe here. There's a little concrete area just in front of the slats, between the slats and the gate here, and they're liable to lie down there. And there's the same at the back. But yeah, if you just see them laying down for the first few days, you have to keep putting them back in through the gate at the back. They don't be long getting used to it. They soon know where the comfort is, and they know the comfort's on the straw. We're back up to 10 in these pens, which I'm not overly happy about. They're a little bit tight, but haven't got that much space. But it works. There's not much. We've nowhere else to put them at the minute. They have space. There's no problem. They can all lie down. There's no hassle. But I'd rather if it was 9. It just gives a little bit extra liberty for them in the pens. But look at them, 1 or 2 calves. It'll not be long freeing it out again. We'll just go around the back here, and we'll see what's what. There's 2 more that calved yesterday. There was 3 last night and 1 yesterday morning, and 2 of the ones that calved last night are here, and the other one that calved last night, we actually have her in a stable up the top of the yard beside where the horses are. So here's another bull calf here. This little fecker, yesterday when when he was born, he was the only one that I didn't see drinking, and I was afraid maybe he didn't drink. The mother's also a short orange, quite a bit of white on her, but she has some speckles of brown as well. I was afraid that maybe that he didn't get a drink from the mother, and spent about 20 minutes or half an hour trying to put him in to get a drink. Could not get him the drink. He bit my hand, he bit my fingers, he'd done everything, but he would not suckle up. So I just got sick of it then. I said, right, I'll leave you for a while. Went away, fed away at a beef cattle. Come back about 40 minutes, 50 minutes later, slid the door open, and there he was suckling away. So that was the only one that I hadn't seen suckling. I seen all the others shrinking. This one is another one that calved last night. We tagged all these this morning as well, so we had quite a busy morning. Here's a little heifer calf here. She's lovely and warm. Yeah, she's a quiet cow. She's one of the older cows. But I'd say, hard to tell, but I'd say that's out of the limousine. It's a little bright, but I still think it's out of the limousine. Yeah, that just leaves the calves that's in creeping now here at the back. There's 6 of them here at the minute. Yeah, like they don't be long getting used to the whole thing. This little one here, 243, is only after just walking in as I was making the video with this other side. She walked in through the pen, and like she's one of the smaller ones, you know. But yeah, look, they don't be long getting used to knowing where the comfort is, and that's where they want to be. They'll come in and sleep in the back, and when they're hungry, thirsty, they go out the front. Yeah, no, it is a good job. Like, there's no doubt about it. But you still have to keep your eye on them. More so nearly when they come in the back than ever, because there can be a tendency nearly to take your eye off the ball a little bit and be watching the newly born ones maybe more so, but you still have to come in and you need to check them a few times a day at least, maybe 3 times a day, and just make sure that all okay, that none of them gets any little chills, that none of them have any bits of scour or anything like that, and just be on the ball with them, because they can go down. They go down very fast once they start to go down. Yeah, look, space is the whole thing with us. Like, we're tight for space all the time because we have upped our numbers of them slowly from we started. I think this is year 8 now of the sucklers, and like this is an ideal shed if you had 30 suckler cows. Perfect, but we now have 60, and we're moving them from the slats up in the top shed down to here when they're near calve, and if we can, that doesn't always work. We have a couple of calves up in the top shed already, but like we have somehow, when they calve and they're up here in the calving pens, that's great. We can get a couple of days up there, we can move them to here and start them creeping. But what we really need now is somewhere to put them when they get a little bit older, and we need to, like, when there's 10 of them in the pen and they're in it for a few weeks maybe, we could ideally do it like a large bedded pen to put them cows and calves into that you can feed them in, and somewhere to move them on from here, so that we can then move the next 10 down here, that's due to calve, because like it's as I say, it's an ideal shed for calving, but we need, when they're calved, and we could do it somewhere then to move them on for the next stage, but if that makes sense. But look, we'll have to look at that as well and see what we can do on that front, because this other shed we are putting up is going to be mainly for beefing cattle, you know, so. But I don't know, we'll have to, we've talked about a few different things. We'll have to see what we're going to do. We haven't just made up our mind fully, but if we're going to keep at 60 or maybe up to 70 suckler cows, we're going to have space for them. because you're not going to be able to calve in them at this time of the year. You can't rely on the weather to put them in, or to put them outside, because going forward it looks like it's not going to be there until you get into March or April. And I like to have them born at least sometime in February and into March, because when you get on past that, you haven't got as strong a calf in the back end. But look, we'll just have to see. We'll see how it works out. That's enough of me ranting on for the minute. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and just another look at our setup and how it's progressing. I don't think there's going to be any more calves today, but you never know. We'll have to see how it goes, and if there is, it'll probably not be until tomorrow or the next day's video anyway. So that's it. I'm going to go and start maybe doing some feeding, and yeah, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.